He doesn't just sell accessories. He paints legends. He delivers experiences. He makes nostalgic dreams take form. From custom printed armor and weapons to entire hand-painted figures, Just My Game creates miniature accessories so detailed and high quality, he has nearly 8,000 sales and an average rating of 5 stars. How did he do it?
I had nothing and nobody to look up to. Okay, I don't drink, I don't do drugs anymore. Like, I can't say it more with my heart than without me cutting it open, showing you where it was probably stamped by God. This is my destiny. Tell my wife, and she's like, stop saying this. I die doing this, or I win.
All right, we're recording. We're already like mid-flow of this conversation. Welcome everybody to the Twisted Talks podcast. I am honored and so happy today to be talking to Joseph of Just My Game. We did not plan, we did not coordinate this twinning glasses situation. We're
Look, great
both
minds
just
think alike.
yes.
So I can't say anything else but that when it comes down to the protection of our eyes. But you're surrounded in a lot of light, man. Like I am as well with the studio. So we need to protect our eyes as much as possible.
Yeah, I stare at a bright screen so many hours a day. And, using these, like I had blue light blockers that were like clear, you couldn't even tell. They just looked like regular glasses. But when I switched to these, like it feels like putting like almost a soft blanket over my eyes and just like they can rest. It's really, you feel the difference at the end of the day.
Did you get inspired by someone in particular?
I did. Oh,
Me
what's
too.
his name? Oh, Rick Rubin, I think was the
Yes.
first one. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
same
not.
for you.
I saw his podcast with Joe Rogan,
Mm,
and I'm not a big fan of big podcasts, right?
hmm.
But Joe Rogan, he seems grounded. I mean, obviously, you
Yeah,
don't know the guy unless you know the guy. He seems grounded, and he's very open in the way he speaks. So
yeah.
he's not shy. And if it's something is BS, if something is BS, then they're gonna say it's BS, right? But it was, I mean, Ruben seems like I read his book, well, in audiobook format, and a
Yeah.
lot of things like really hit my heart.
Yeah.
It was
The
sometimes, right, when you're going through life, little tidbits will keep popping up, okay, like to tell you to do something. And for me, it was that book for a good 2 weeks or so. It kept like in ads, you know what I mean? Like then it was the
hmm.
podcast. I was like, what is this book? So I got the audio book. I was listening on YouTube. And when he promoted it, he was wearing the glasses. And
Hmm.
I was like, oh, those are cool. You know, that's a little bit of like a symbol almost, right? Sorry, I'm glitching out a little bit.
Talk
I
it.
was like, that's kind of like a symbol. And I'm like, it has to be just because it looks cool. And he said it was UV blockers. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm at an age now, I'm 31. Okay. When I was my early 20s, it was all about the military. It was all about, I didn't care about my body. But now that I
Hmm.
have my child and my wife, and I'm same thing like you just said, we're focused so much on a screen, we're being bombarded by light everywhere. And when you're working on your work, and I've seen the behind the scenes, there's so many lights,
Yeah.
so many lights. So sometimes, I mean, obviously for color coordination, it's not the best because everything is kind of orange right
Yeah.
now.
You gotta do
I
this
know, okay,
sometimes if you're working
exactly.
creatively.
But the beauty behind it is like it's very stylish and it's nice, and my eyes actually feel calmer.
Yeah.
It's very
It
important.
I am so with you. There's this and there are like layers to this blue light thing. And people they choose different depths along the rabbit hole to park themselves. There's a neurosurgeon called Jack, what's his name? Jack, I feel like it starts with a K. I can't think of his name right now, but um, he, even talks about how like blue light has hypnotic qualities. Like it
I've
really
read about
dull,
it.
it puts you into a dull state. And we have like fluorescent blue lights. I mean, there's like you said, light all around us. And so I've really in this, at this point in my life, you started to think a lot about my what am I eating? What am I consuming? What is like streaming in through my eyes all day, every day? Because it matters.
It's it's going to matter more so as we get older too. Huh?
Mm,
So like I said, when you're younger, I used to party a lot. Personally, I'm not going to get too deep into that, but when I was younger, like I used to party a lot. I didn't really care up until I started to feel it, right?
mm,
When I started to feel it, you still kind of give that push because then there's habit that you think you could still do it, but then you can't. It's like I'm not going to go start deadlifting 400 pounds anymore, 500 pounds. You see what I mean? Why?
mm,
If I could do it, fantastic. Maybe once in a while, if I really want to get pumped up, awesome. but that's not my goal anymore. My goal is health and longevity. So little things like
Hmm.
this, like these things add up with time. So sleep, for example, sleep.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a good relationship with sleep. So I'll be very honest with you. 4 a.m., 5 a.m. sometimes. I used to do 48 hours nonstop
Mm.
for painting because that's how, when I started the business, it was a very survival mindset. Okay.
Hmm.
No one knows the beginning of just my game except for me and my wife.
Hmm.
And it wasn't, it just my game was built out of actual survival. And that's kind of that's why I have such a big heart for this. It's not just a business. I've had a lot of businesses, bro. A
Yeah.
lot. I've done a lot of work. I've had a lot of businesses. Nothing has hit my heart like this has. And it was because of survival, to be very, like, all the other businesses were survival too. Like, you have to make your money, you have to put food on the table, but there's something about this that even you feel it with your work. It's something above us, genuinely above us, that feels like, personally, I feel like I'm being watched in a very good way. I also feel like I'm being guided.
Hmm.
I've never felt that before. I've done investing. I've done a lot. I've done on the good side of the law, and I've done when I was younger, not anymore. I'm not going to talk too much into it, but on the other side of the law, I've never felt comfortable my entire life. My entire life, my brother. Like, it was very tough for me as a young, and we have so much to talk about. Like,
Oh
it's
my God, it's crazy. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I had these like questions. We're maybe not going to get to any of them. We're just going to talk and talk. Um, but I so resonate with you, man. This calling, it's something deeper and it comes out in weird moments, and like, I'm curious how it comes out for you. But for me, sometimes I'll be sitting in the car and I'm thinking about the plot for like the third movie or something. And I'll just start to like, I'll feel the inclination to like weep or like feel deep
yeah,
sorrow for the suffering that my characters are going to undergo.
feel
And
it
it's
so, you must feel it so fucking intensely.
yeah, it's like I literally feel like I've built a relationship with these characters, because it's almost like I'm their daddy, I
You
brought
are,
them into this world and
you are.
like guided their first steps. I mean, it's a very strange thing. It's a weird reality and it's a fun
I
part
don't
to
see it
play.
as strange. It's like there was a nice little quote, like, what the fly sees, like, if a fly were to see a spider, it thinks a spider's fucking crazy, right? And if a spider sees a different type of bug, it's like, what the fuck is that weirdo doing?
Yeah.
You're talking like a wolf is talking to a wolf right now.
Mm.
I understand it's not even just your heart that weeps too. It's something deep rooted, like a seed in your soul almost, that sprouts at the perfect timings when you feel like it's one, it's gonna work, it's crazy. It's gonna work. You want to implement it as best as efficiently, excuse me, as possible. But I'm guessing music must have, because you're listening to music when you're visualizing and for your scenes, correct?
Often, yes. Gosh, sometimes it's just silence. But I go through these stages throughout the story creation, because there is like the time where it's just like story incubation and inspiration, and then later on it's animation and production. It's a totally different thing. But I know you have a very like personal relationship when it comes to music and your art, right?
Yes. Yeah. I used to use it a lot more. So I used to do a lot of psychedelics before.
Mm,
Okay, I haven't touched psychedelics. Any drugs? I haven't touched any drugs in I would say 7, 8 years. Okay, I don't
mm,
drink. I don't do drugs anymore. I don't do any of that. But music has always had a profound impact on my emotion.
hmm.
So I'll be open. Okay, I'm not going to hide anything. I'll be open. When I
Yeah.
was younger, I used to go to parties. I used to have a pure MDMA, and people use that for raves. Okay, a lot of people take it. I used to take it, and I was at these large parties, and I used to go and try and find a soft spot away from everybody. If I heard like a really good song,
Mm,
I just want to sit down and be in my head and feel it. And people come up to me because that energy starts gravitating out, right?
hmm.
People come up to me and they feel me and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fucking good right now." And I'm sweating and I'm like, I'm good right now.
Very good
Like, I
place.
just want to think. I just want to be in my head. I just want to feel right now. Music is used for painting. Music is used for support. So when we get a 3D model made, right? Like every single piece of this, for example, of course it disappears there. So we have a 3D model and it has to be manifested into reality. So what that
Hmm.
happens is it gets drawn and then it's brought to me, excuse me, it's brought to me. And then we have to support it. You know about this, right?
Hmm.
So the moment that happens, I have to listen to a specific type of music when that actually happens. It's usually like drum and bass or
Hmm.
something a little bit more upbeat because I get lost very quickly. Like it's very tiring when you're doing 8 armor sets. It's been 16 hours almost that you're trying to like you're doing the work,
Yeah.
16 hours, 14 hours sometimes. So I need something a bit more drum and bass, something more upbeat. When I paint, on the other hand, it's Denzel Curry, for example. I
Hmm.
really like Denzel Curry.
What genre is Denzel Curry? I'm not familiar.
It's he's been experimenting with quite a bit as of recent, but he started with the SoundCloud kids
Oh
in
yeah.
2016. He grew up with that, but he was part of that path.
Hmm.
XXX Tentacion, all
Hmm.
those kinds of people. I don't listen to them as much. Suicide Boys used to be huge with me when I was younger. The people that I used to hang out with were we were young, okay, so we had a lot of growing to do, but we would listen to that kind of music quite often.
Hmm.
And I avoid that music actually because it stirs something inside my spirit that I don't
Hmm.
want to be mixed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But when it comes down to working and utilizing sounds, it just depends how I feel. I love all music, but some songs in particular, man, I'll get lost in the music. So I'll
Yeah.
be painting, but I'll be more visualizing in my head than I will doing the actual work.
Yeah.
It's not even about the work sometimes. It's about
Yeah.
something completely different. And it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And you mentioned, feeling emotions and crying sometimes. I'm talking a lot. I apologize.
It's great.
When I have a certain scene, thank you, by the way. Thank you for letting me talk, is what I meant to say.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're the star of the show here.
No, I'm not. No, no, we are. We are.
yes.
But
I'll
when it
take
comes
that.
down to the weeping, I've had an idea for a very long time as well, and I always go back to it when a certain song kind of hits it. And I've evolved that idea for quite some time. And there's, let's say the death of a character, right, for example, and that song is playing, I'll genuinely start crying,
Mm.
genuinely, and I don't want my wife to come in because I cannot explain why. Like, and
Yeah.
and thinking about this because this, but she's like, it's not real, right? It didn't
You're
happen.
is this the death of a death of a character that you've created or your own
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
storyline?
yeah. Like
Yeah.
it feels like I know this person
Wow.
so deeply, like I know their food choices.
Yeah.
That's another level. Like
Whoa.
like what they would do in a day,
Yeah.
who they would their mannerisms or the way they would talk, not maybe fully 100 because you have to flesh them out completely, right? I
Hmm.
have, but you have to when I do flesh out as much as possible, what music they would listen to, right? And that person passing is like you're technically killing them because you can't really bring them back in your
Yeah.
head. Just store. You see what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
bizarre. You're saying goodbye, but the goodbye is permanent almost because you could always come back to them face to face in your head. It's very difficult to explain,
Yeah.
but it's so real because emotions are they're just emotions. People want to say chemicals. I say we're very blessed to even have emotions.
Yeah.
Be
Oh,
people to think about thinking is insane.
yeah. I mean, and I follow the traditional or like you break emotion down, it's energy and motion. Like I've always like
Like that.
resonated with that saying and this idea that like, there's that it's just chemicals. Like love is just chemicals. It's so silly to me because it's like it's correlated with like a chemical process, but the love is a thing. Like it's a thing. The chemicals aren't the thing. Like the chemicals are this thing that's happening at the same time. The love is what you feel, and it's an experience that you can't put down on paper because it's an experience. Um, and this tendency to explain things away is something that I've left far behind. Like things that are miraculous because they feel miraculous, those are miracles to me. Like it's not, I don't care. I just don't care for explaining things away anymore, you know?
Do you have the quote that you ever kind of crossed by? It's the man who jumps into the abyss owes no explanation to anybody.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
It's so if you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back.
Yes,
Right?
I've heard that one.
But if you jump into the abyss, you don't owe an explanation to anybody. I think
Interesting.
it's kind of bizarre to say because not there's a lot of layers to it. Personally, I believe there's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah.
But
Oh
if
yeah.
you do something, you experience something so profound and so great, it doesn't need to be explained to people. It's yours.
Hmm.
It's your choice to jump. You don't know where the fuck you're going. It's your choice to jump, so it's yours.
Yes.
Sometimes when it's yours, it doesn't need to be. You don't have to tell people.
It's such a beautiful sentiment, man. And I don't know if it's like embarrassing to admit this, but I not this year I read a book called When I Say No, I Feel Guilty. It's an old book from like the 70s or 80s. I mean, it's pretty old, but it's like it was amazing to read because I've been a chronic people pleaser for most of my life. Or I have this desire, this deep need kind of to be liked, to be agreeable. And just reading that book, it lays out these statements, I guess you could call almost like commandments that um, personal contracts. And it's like one of them is you don't need to explain why you believe what you believe. Like, you don't need to justify what you believe to others. You can just choose what to believe, and that's your choice. That's your free choice as a conscious being with free will. And it's funny that I had to see that written to acknowledge it and accept it on a deeper level. But it's weird how, we develop in these funny ways and we get these deep subconscious ideas in our heads that they're just not true.
It's well, okay. I don't want to stumble on my words because I like where this is going, but it's in the Kybalion, it states that everything is but a half truth,
Mm,
right? So what is true to somebody may not be the full truth because there's no such thing as a full truth. If I see an angle of a building and I say it looks like a bird, this is a dumb example. If I say, oh, that looks like a bird, and you're sitting at maybe a different angle, oh, that looks like a duck. I mean, we're both seeing something. That's the truth, right?
hmm
But what am I seeing and what you're seeing, that's the half truth. We
hmm
both say, yeah, we both saw something, but what it is it's to me, and then whatever it is to you, it's to you. Uh, I don't believe that you owe an explanation to anybody, and I also don't believe that you need to explain yourself. It's well, when it comes down to personal relations, I don't believe you always need to explain yourself if you're doing something good, that's prosperous,
hmm
that's either be it your hobby or something that you enjoy personally. But when it comes down to business, for example, that's where the people pleasing does come in for me. Because I
Mm,
agree with you when it comes down to that. A lot of people come to me and they're like, look, I've had this idea for 10 years. Can you please make it?
hmm.
How the fuck do you want me to say no?
Yeah.
I'm very, if I have to keep it, like I have the power to do that.
Yeah.
Thank God, I work my ass off 90 hours, 80 hours a week. And people like come up. No, no, I literally do 90 hours a week.
Jeez.
I don't sleep for 3 days sometimes. And it's not because I don't want to. I'm tired. I just want to complete the project.
Yeah.
I want to do this because I know my ass. If I get up, it's done. I'm coming back and I'm gonna be like, oh, maybe I should do. No, no, no. I want to attack until I'm content. It's done. Art is never finished, by the way. It's just you run out of time.
hmm
It's done. That I'm gonna say it's done because I have to say it's done. But someone comes to me and they're like, hey, look, can you paint this because I played this and it means so much to me and I had these beautiful memories with it. I want to say yes so badly, and I do. And
hmm
that's the main issue with me as well. I understand what you mean so deeply because you're saying something and then you're really saying something. And I'm doing my best to resonate here. Like I really understand the deeper
hmm
layer. People pleasing, I don't find it people pleasing. I think we're just trying to please ourselves. I think it's more egotistical, to be
Hmm.
very honest with you, because that gives me a certain sense of urgency, number one, which is great, always great, as long as it's controlled urgency, right? Like not chaotic stuff, but just it's controlled urgency. Like it's a set path that you're choosing to incorporate within your life, and they need it by this date or that date. Like there's that urgency,
hmm
but it's more so egotistical for me, and I'm not shy to say this because I want to be the one. You know what I mean? You
hmm
came to me, I met you. Like that's a blessing. Like I
hmm
like a lot of my I don't call them clients, my people. They're my brothers and my sisters because they come to me with ideas that they've had since children.
hmm
I don't want to say no to that.
Yeah.
Even if I have to, or if I can say no, I don't want to. And it
Well,
takes longer, but I don't, I'll not, it's not people pleasing, man. I believe for creators, I don't believe it's people pleasing. I believe you know what, people pleasing, sure, but we're making them happy. We're not, and we're happy because we get that power to do that and make them happy. It's like rocks, you know what I mean? Polishing each other almost because you're taking it and then you're like, oh, but I want to be liked. But you also want to like yourself. You're trying to prove something to yourself too that you can do this.
hmm
So it's like I said, it's very deep. Like it's
Yeah.
please go ahead, please.
Well, you just you're making me think of like the artists as channelers, It's like there's this weird there's a realm from which all things spring, and it's a weird one. And I think some people, in Rick Rubin, like his book, The Creative Act, is that the one? Yeah, I have read it as well, and he is somebody, and I love when people do this. There are some people out there who to them like spirituality and creativity are like this, you know, it's almost one and the same. And you know, I think and I felt from a very young age that like I just have to create. Like I have to be bringing things into this world. And I'm sure like, you know, when you have people who come out to you, reach out to you and they're like, this is like this is this thing holds a special meaning for me. It's this magical memory. I really want to see this like realized. You're like, "Okay, I'm the guy. Like I'm the channel that takes this from that realm and puts it into this one. So
Getting
now you can have
goosebumps by
that."
you saying this, by the way.
What's say that again?
I'm getting goosebumps. Like I'm
Oh,
genuinely getting goosebumps.
Oh, I think yeah, there's going to be more of those, I think,
Okay.
throughout this conversation. But you know, it's and I don't know, it's so exciting just like where I find myself now and where I perceive you to be in this place where it's we have to make it work. Like we have to find a way to like do this all the
I don't
time
know how
and
this
commit
works.
all of our spiritual and physical resources to this because it's what we're best at.
It's it's okay. We don't have a choice. As politely as I want to say that, we don't have a choice. You can't
Yeah.
fuck off from destiny. And I never thought, okay, I don't want to get too emotional, but like I never thought that this would be my destiny. And people are gonna challenge that. They're gonna be like, how is this your it's my fucking destiny.
Yeah.
Like I can't say it more with my heart than without me cutting it open, showing you where it was probably stamped by God. This is my destiny. But who the fuck knew that we were gonna, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
miniature figurines and like this entire world. It's I've done psych. I was studying this because I'm like, why this, right? And
Yeah.
I it's easy to look back and learn because you can't really learn it. You could learn something in the moment if you're choosing to learn something, but like you say, oh, that was a mistake or whatever it may be. 2 years later, you're like, if that mistake didn't happen, I would not be here. Now that's a very simple way of putting it because it's the linear time and all that, whatever. But was that destined for you, that little mistake, to push you towards your destiny? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Single thing, like the passing of my father when I was a young boy, losing my family, like my brothers and my sisters, they abandoned me. Okay, I have I have three half siblings, two brothers and one sister, around a decade older. Every single one of them almost a decade older. Excuse me. I might get choked up, but that's fine. But they abandoned me completely, and I was homeless for 2 years. And I believe I spoke to you about this briefly, but I didn't get too deep into it. I had no friends, man, no friends, and no one wanted to hang out with the homeless kid, and no one wanted to hang out with the weirdo who was listening to off music, you know what I mean? Slipknot one day, and then it's classical the next day, and then swing
Mm.
jazz the next day. I couldn't click with anybody. I couldn't because I was able to talk with everyone, but I couldn't associate myself to I'm this kind of guy. I'm that kind of guy.
Mm.
I was always very open. And back to it being destiny, I look back and the military, for example, after high school. So I attempted to. It was very tough in high school for me. Okay, I was not creative whatsoever, and that's why it was tough, I believe.
Yeah.
After my father's passing, my mother attempted to raise me, but it was very tough for her. So we had no financial assistance in any way, shape, or form. I was sleeping at my mother's shop. She wasn't even working. We had the shop. We were completely, when I say homeless, I didn't have a home. Thank God we still had my mother's shop because I'd sleep with two chairs and a fucking heater. The
Jeez.
winter in Canada. It was intense. Like this is
Oh my
I'm
God.
smiling now because it was very dark. Okay. And if I
Yeah.
don't smile in the darkness, like it's like it was
It's
very dark.
yeah.
And I used to wear the same clothes because we obviously couldn't afford clothes, and people used to throw food at me because I was really obese when I was. It
Jeez.
wasn't good, brother. Like it was. I have photo. Like I have like one or two photos, and like I was very heavy because I had no father figure. Like I had no masculine energy. You know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah.
gonna my brothers for that and my cousins, but they weren't there. They literally said this. Like that's it. The only connection that I had with them was my father. You see, they didn't like my mom. And then as soon as they had that excuse to say, "Oh, it's we don't have to go," and they did not. And I tried calling them. I don't want like I will get a bit deep sometimes in the conversation if you allow me to. If anything, just say, "Yo, let's let's calm it down a bit."
Very unlikely to happen. Go on.
Thank you. I called them on the anniversary of my father's passing to because he passed when I was 11, turning 12,
Hmm.
and I called my siblings 2 years ago just to check in. I haven't seen them. I don't know anything about them anymore. Okay, they still live in this country, if I'm not mistaken, Canada.
Hmm.
But I called them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and I left voicemails. I got the numbers. I found out where they were working. Like I did some investigative work, and I
Yeah.
called my guys. I'm like, look, I'm like, I don't know if I have to apologize. I'm like, I don't know if I did something wrong. If you guys did something wrong, I don't care. I love you so much. I haven't spoken to you. It's I gave my childhood nickname to them, like because they used to call me a childhood nickname.
Mm.
I'm like, it's me. I'm like, this maybe you don't recognize me from my voice, but if you guys could call me back. Never got a call back.
Jeez.
It was that was
Got a
I
sting.
didn't feel like the knife got turned. I felt like it got pulled out.
Hmm.
Finally, you know what I mean? Like the knife
Yeah.
got pulled out. I was like, okay, like now I get it. Now I'm gonna move on from this.
Yeah. Now you
So
know.
I knew at that moment. I knew. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. Like I waited like a year. There was no email, no nothing. You know what I mean? Like they could have found. They could have found me. I gave them my number, called their places of work. I made it easy. Even it
Yeah.
was just like, I don't want to talk with you, but I love you. Bye. At least I would have gotten that air. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I felt so deflated. And I didn't have that when I was homeless. I didn't even have, like, so imagine from then to now, okay, I didn't have any masculine energy. My brothers weren't there. My cousins fucked off. Like it was bored. It was a tornado. My whole life was a tornado in that moment, excuse me. Thank God is doing much better. I'm doing my best. Alhamdulillah. God is giving me my trials like any any soldier of his, but it's I have no complaints, brother. If it's a bit of stress and if it's a bit tense sometimes, I have no complaints because I told my wife, I'm like, look, I'm like, I feel like a sword right now or whatever fucking weapon. I don't care. It's just an analogy.
Hmm.
But I go like, you can't have a strong sword unless you quench it in oil and fucking beat it
Yeah.
and beat it and then put it back in the fire and take it out and quench it and sharpen it. And I told my wife, I'm like, what the fuck does God want me to do for him to keep putting me in the fire? What does he want me to become? And she's like, you're gonna find out. He goes, but
Hmm.
it's gonna be if he she told me, she goes, if God needs you to be that sharp and to cut that fast, like you have to go through it. And you have, she goes, I'm with you, and you have to, because it's a lot, it's not mental instability, man. It's just like I'm alone the majority of the time with work. I don't see people anymore. I don't go out anymore. I stop the partying. I stop the people. So it's my wife, my child, and my business. Those are the three things. God as well.
Hmm.
But physical, right now, it's my wife, my child, and my business. And when I was going through, to bring it back, I apologize. To bring it back, when I was going through high school, they would throw food in my clothes. And because I had nothing, they would see the stains.
Hmm.
So 2, 3 days, same stains. And then they'd be like, oh, well, the kid obviously doesn't have fucking clothes. So they would try bullying me in that regard. And I attempted to take my life in secondaire deux. So in Canada, you have kindergarten to sixth grade,
Mm.
have seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, 11. Then it's college, then it's university.
Yeah.
The deuxième secondaire in French, because I'm in Quebec, it's eighth grade. So I
Oh
attempted
yeah.
my life in eighth
Wow.
grade. And that was like, there was no, I told you, there's like a boy, I believe, fully, a boy needs a father or at least a mentor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone who's going to be there to show them not to act like a woman,
Just a role model,
someone you could
masculine.
look up to. I had nothing and nobody to look up to. So my mother was very depressed and she was a very manipulative individual. So I got passed through high school. And as soon as I turned 18, I'm like, this, I'm doing the military.
Hmm.
My friend at the time, his name was Johnny. I knew him since kindergarten, and he's like, Joe. He's like, you sure you want to fucking do the forces? Because I was heavy. I was really heavy. And he's like, you're gonna do good if you do it, man. I'm like, can you get me? Because he owns a construction company, inherited from his father.
Mm.
Incredibly hard worker, deserves it.
Mm.
I'll be very, and it's not. I'm not biased. Like
Hmm.
this is one of the hardest working men I've ever met in my life. And I'm like, can you get me a job at like your construction company or something? I was like 17, turning 18 at the time. And he's like, nope. He's like, I can. He's like, this is not your path, man. He's like, you wouldn't do this. He's like, I don't see you like this. He goes, go to the military, do it. He drove me to the recruiting center. Like that's how deep it was. I did my 4 years in the military. Crazy shit happened within my short-lived career. My final year, I was training for counterterrorism, and I was getting top three in my class. Like I was really fucking good. Like I have Valhalla
Yeah.
tattooed on my knuckles. Like I wanted to die in battle. Like I really wanted to die giving my life for someone else's life. I still have that. I'm not gonna call it a kink, but like it's something deep in my soul. Like if I told my wife, I go like, if there's a way I can pass, it would have to be giving my life for someone, if it's you, my daughter, whatever, or growing very old. Like, well,
Mm.
those are the only two options. And those are nice options, trust me, like growing old, but I don't want to grow old enough to start getting disease.
Yeah.
You see, like I don't want the all side, like I don't know.
Oh,
Okay, so you understand. You
I
understand.
100%. It's this I'm with you. I mean, not to like go on too much of a sidebar, but it seems like in this day and age we just drag out death, instead of letting people like, I'd want to be when my time comes, I would prefer it's on my terms and not like in that I'm lucid, that
Yes, I agree with you. I
it's
agree with
that's important to me. Um, but
you. The
man,
lucid part, sorry, please go ahead.
it sounds like, man, you incarnated on this planet on like literally max difficulty. Um, and
Well, that's not even talking about like my youth, my brother. Like
yeah, I know.
child. That's the reason my father did his path was because I was sick. It was an ice storm in Canada, and I like I almost passed away as a baby. And
Jeez.
we had my parents were incredibly poor, so my father in a snowstorm grabbed his brother's gun and went to go rob a gas station, and then went to the pharmacy because the only two things that were open were gas stations and pharmacies. And this was a big ice storm in 1995. I was born in 93,
Okay.
95 or 96, if I'm not mistaken. The military had to intervene
Mm,
because it was that bad. So he robbed a gas station and went to go buy my medication at a pharmacy.
wow.
So it's not necessarily max difficulty. It's been tough.
Yeah.
There are people who have it worse. You know what I mean? People who have it much better, much worse. And I'm saying, like, I'm not downplaying or overplaying anything. This is just my path, my life. And I've realized with time that, yeah, it's tough. It's pretty tough. But I believe, I don't want to sound egotistical. I don't want to sound jaded. Maybe that's my coping mechanism somehow, some way, or my realization of the self within the self. I think the world needs, or my world, like my family, my people, my business, on that destiny path needs someone like me.
Hmm.
I don't judge a lot of people. Okay. I've been overweight. I've been poor. Who the fuck am I to judge?
Hmm.
Like, I have a lot of people that I used to know, they used to make fun of certain, I'm like, who the shut your fucking mouth.
Hmm.
Never been through that. You don't know if it's tough for them to eat or not. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I believe that I have a much broader perspective and a much more beautiful perspective on life
Yeah.
due to those trials.
Yeah.
But the difficulty has been subsiding, thank God, and I pray daily
Mm.
that the difficulty has been subsiding mainly because I feel like it's my time now,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of hard work. Like I told you, brother, like 80, 90 hours a week. I have my kid that I would fucking eat the world. Like you don't. I hope you understand one day. Like when are you gonna choose to be a father anytime soon? And
That's
like,
I would certainly like to be. It's in the cards for me.
I know
Um,
you're gonna be an amazing father.
Thanks, brother. That means a lot
And
to
I'm
hear.
serious too. I don't say that to people if they don't fucking feel it. Like I've
Yeah.
seen some people who are genuine idiots who I'm like, God, be with that child. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I believe you're gonna be a great father because you have that inside of you. Like my daughter is my daughter. That's my blood.
Hmm.
That's the next, like God willing, that's what's gonna like supersede me. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
won't
Oh
be
yeah.
here. My daughter's gonna be here. So I have to be the best version of myself for her, and I also have to be the best parent for her and the best friend for her. I
Yeah.
can't just be a friend or just be a parent. You know what I mean? I have to be. I look. Women are gonna either date or marry someone exactly like their father, or the complete opposite.
We're recording. Yeah, that's, I'm the cheap
It's
son of
okay.
a. I don't want to pay for premium Zoom. So here we are. And I wanted to like warn you, but I also didn't want to interrupt your flow.
Oh,
So
it's perfect. Don't worry about it.
yeah. But just talking about your daughter, your family, I mean, we're creators. What greater act of creation is there than like being a parent?
It's completely a different field. Okay. If you're a good parent, it's going to be difficult.
Mm,
If you're a bad parent, it's still going to be difficult, but you just won't notice it yet.
mm,
So I want to homeschool my kid.
mm,
The main reason is because people say, well, why would you want to homeschool if there's, schools nearby? And Teachers are, they're going to do well. I have a lot of opinions as to why I don't want to. And a lot of them I'm not going to get into because they're personal opinions, and personal opinions, they're mine. But the major opinions that I have that are more widely recognized within those that want to be good parents and want to really do their best to take parenting as a genuine job.
Hmm.
Right? You have to see it like that, like it's a job. You just can't pull off to work and say, "Oh, I'm not gonna do that." Like if my kid wants apples, she's getting apples. If we, God willing, we have apples in the fridge. If she's like, "Dada, cut the apples, please." Yeah, yeah, no, but cut them in like like weird little shit. I'm like, I'll cut
Yeah.
them in weird little shit. You're my daughter.
Yeah.
Is that spoiling? Is that no? She's a 3-year-old turning 4. Like she doesn't really, you know what I mean? For her, it's play, it's games, it's love,
Yeah.
it's fun. She's full. Thank God she's
Exploration.
full.
Hmm.
Say again?
Exploration. She's
It
exploring the
is.
world.
And she tests a lot. I don't like she
I bet.
challenges me a lot. But when it comes down to the act of creation through choosing to be a good parent, you have to continuously decide what is best for the the individual that you chose to have next to you. Your
Hmm.
son, daughter, doesn't matter. I see, if you want to see it through a crazy lens, I see it the way I did physical training. I see it the way I'm doing my business. You have to kind of make a plan. You know how it's not going to be step by step,
Hmm.
but from your life lessons, right, as a parent, until you've had that child, and then slowly but surely you start teaching that child. Wouldn't you want them to learn from your mistakes?
Hmm.
I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not shy to say that. Like I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and a lot of them stemmed from just not knowing myself.
Hmm.
And I'm still learning about myself. Thankfully,
Yeah.
I'm still learning about myself. I just don't want my kid to be fed bullshit in school. The
Hmm.
same way I don't want to work with idiots with my business.
Hmm.
See what I mean? Like the same way
Yeah.
I wouldn't go and train with someone at the gym who's going to complain all the time. Like you have to see it like it's very broad, specific to each interaction or to each engagement. But being a good father, in my opinion, and I believe this is a shared opinion, it's a job, man. I
Yeah.
don't want my
It's not a
kid.
hobby.
No, 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 no. You're choosing to have a child.
Yeah.
Like you choose to have a business. Like you choose to go to the gym. Or you choose to eat. It's a
Well,
choice.
and that's the thing, man. I absolutely love like your whole take on this because it all comes down to choice and this realization that you don't have to play the games that other people choose to play, even
Oh,
though you may have been raised thinking it's good to play other people's games. You don't have to even touch them. In fact, you can just stop talking to the people who play the games that you don't care for. And it's I don't know. I think there's that's like it's like a second growing up for the second time and it's like making all your own choices instead of just kind of and it's kind of like you're your own boss and I have I'm a substitute or like I work for the school system. I'm an employee, but I'm an employee in a position that provides me with pretty much as much freedom as possible. And I just know me and my girlfriend are both on the same page on this. We got to work for ourselves because like there are times in life where you just have to be an employee. You're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to pay for things. But my God, it's just it's just such BS so much of the time.
there was a cute little thing that someone did to me once. They pulled out. There was nothing in their hands, but they're like, "Hey, Joe." And I was at the gym. This was almost a decade ago. I don't know why they did this, but it stuck with me forever. I think it was just maybe they were whatever, right? They were just in
Hmm.
that mood, in that kind of feeling, and we were talking, and someone came up to me, and I used to train with them sometimes, but not too often. And they came up to me like, Joe, like choose a hand. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're talking like I don't
We're
understand. Just choose
adults.
a hand, just choose a hand. And I'm like, well, what's in the hand? And he's like, it's a surprise. He goes, choose. And I looked and I'm like, the right one. And he opened it up and there was nothing. And he opens the left one and there's nothing. He's like, you never had to choose in the first place.
Mm,
So he gave me two options. If he chose what's in this hand or what's in that hand, it's an illusion of choice for me.
yeah,
I just said no. Obviously, I had to say yes to understand the lesson. But playing that game, you could literally say, I don't want to fucking choose, buddy. Like, and back off from the situation
yeah,
and do your own way, your own style. Is it going to be the best? Who knows? You got to try. Like, you
yeah.
have to try it first to find out. I want my kid to be okay. So one of the reasons why I adjust my game is it's called just my game. Okay,
Hmm.
like that's I don't look at other shops. I really don't look at other shops. Like I'm not trying to be once again egotistical or anything. They just don't influence me.
Mm.
Like their color palettes I don't like the way they operate business. But this is once again opinion. They do think God bless them for being successful. Like you know what? It's not about that. It
Yeah.
doesn't resonate with me. So people are like, did you see this on that? I'm like, no, I didn't because I don't give a fuck about that. I'm doing
Yeah.
it's my thing.
Yeah.
I want to share what's mine to my people. That's my family, right? I consider you part of this family. I don't like working with people at all. I don't because it's not about headbutting. Like I got a strong head. If you, people want to headbutt with me, there's no problem. But why are you going to headbutt with someone if you want to build something?
Hmm.
It has to click, and that's super rare. You're someone who's rare like that. We click and it vibes, and you could feel the flow, and it's effortless almost. Like
Yeah,
if
and it was there almost instantly. I would say I was like, "Oh, this
first
guy
time I
gets
called
it."
you, yeah.
This,
No, the first time I called you, it was I felt it, and
yeah,
I love that because it means that one it was a cue for me saying yeah you're on the right path. There's like these little not oh, yeah checkpoafpoints I would say almost saying like you know what I mean like you're on the right path and
yeah,
you
yeah.
feel
Oh,
it.
yeah,
You really genuinely feel it, and you were
absolutely.
actually one of those checkpoints for me.
Yeah,
After that conversation, I was like, I told my wife about you. I was like, man, I'm like, yeah, like movies.
it's so it tickles me, dude. I mean, I felt the same way, and I was like, "This guy is like way too cool for me." Like
At all,
he's
brother.
just
No,
a
no, 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 no.
total badass who's like
Oh,
running his own shop and feeding his family, and I'm just like playing with Legos over here.
no, I'm super serious, man. I appreciate I appreciate that. That's a very nice compliment. Thank you. But when it comes down to it, like the reason we vibe is because you have something that I have.
Hmm.
Like you also have to understand that
Yeah.
a wolf is gonna smell a wolf. A wolf does not hang out with dogs. A dog is gonna try and hang out with the wolf, but a wolf it hunts with other wolves and it hangs out with other wolves. It's not gonna hang out with a dog unless it's forced.
Hmm.
And even then, when it's forced, it's always going to be weird tension because the dog knows it's a dog and the wolf knows it's a wolf. You have the wolf inside. You have that being, that certain scent almost that rarely have I met in people can smell that on people.
Mm.
The moment you do, you're like, oh, you're one of my guys.
Hmm. Yeah.
You feel that, right? So you want to
Totally.
keep that. And then you try and lock it and you have to find something to lock it because I've had people like us before I've met, but they were on their own path and we never locked anything. We never worked together. We never did anything to kind of combine a little bit. And they left, and I'm always going to remember them.
Hmm.
They move, the way they talk, I resonated with it. But I talked to my wife so much about you as soon as we were done the conversation, the first call. And I was like, this guy, I told her very straight. I'm like, I want to do this contract. Like, I want to, because we were talking about it. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to do it. And she's like, do it. She's like, do it. But she goes, like, what does he do? And I was talking, to her about you. But and the more I was talking, the more I felt my energy getting bigger.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'm on to something. Like I feel with this guy, like I'm on to something. Um, man, sorry, we trailed off a little. I trailed off a little bit. I was
It's
getting
all
too excited
good.
talking about you.
It's all good. But on we're right now what we're talking about is relationship, like relationship to others, collaboration, community, all that stuff. And there's a real art to it. Even, I feel like I'm 29 now. I just turned 29, and like maintaining my adult friendships, it's like these are people I've been friends with for over a decade, or like sometimes a decade, but like sometimes a few years. But maintaining them doesn't feel like maintenance. It feels like exploration. Like it feels like I'm like still like every day is a new day. Every time we try to like get together amidst all the difficulties of being an adult, um, it's it's exploration. It's not something old. It's always every new day is something new. But I wanted to ask you, you have a very unique relationship with your customers and with your collaborators. Could you just say a little bit about that? Because I think it's worth talking about a little bit.
I want to be as human as possible with my people.
Hmm.
I don't. That's it. I like. I told you. I've been through my fair share. Okay. Uh, if someone gets mad, I get it. You might be having a shit day. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna fucking challenge you. I'm not gonna start knocking my head against yours. Someone comes to me with an idea. Man, maybe they were bullied for that idea. I was bullied for playing with figurines and customizing them when I was a kid. That's why no one I played alone a lot of the times, right?
Hmm.
So someone opens up their heart to me. like I'm gonna open up my heart to you. It's as simple as that. I don't want people to ever purchase from my shop, my studio, my blood. This is my shop is my blood. I don't want anyone ever to walk into this studio virtually or even physically, okay, and not walk out with an experience, something they're going to keep for the rest of their life. If it's a
Mhm.
figurine, it's a figurine. If it's a feeling, it's a feeling. I give so much extra when someone purchases. Why? They can make a $10 order, by the way, and I still
Mhm.
give a fuck ton, like big amount extra. I don't know what they're going through. I don't. Why would I try and scalp? You know what I mean? Like I don't
Mhm.
know. Why would I try and pull something away? Like you came to me. Like
Mhm.
for a brief moment in time, you met me and I met you, and maybe I could learn something from you. If I'm never gonna force that. Like if it happens, it happens. If it clicks, it clicks. But there are so many people that just don't treat the interactions of a business and collaborations as human experiences.
Mhm.
Treat it as a business experience. Now, that's a very fine line because once you have a business, it should be a business experience. When you have a human experience, it's usually acts of kindness and holding the door open for someone, helping someone out, talking to someone, sharing a cigarette underneath the fucking moon. If you want, those are human experiences, things you're going to remember. To blend those together, it's very harmonious for me because I don't have a lot of people working with me.
Yeah.
I don't have to, you know what I mean? My modeler, he wants to say private, he wants to say secret. I'm not the model. People think that I model. I don't
Mhm.
model. I have a guy and he's the best in the fucking world. Like the way that I met
Yeah.
this guy, he doesn't live here. He works remotely. The
Yeah.
way I met him was because I was being honorable.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. I could have bought his stuff. Okay, I could have bought his stuff, shut my fucking mouth, and like all these, not all. I don't want to start smoke with anyone.
Yeah. Start a
I'm not
war.
shy to, but I don't want bullshit with people.
Yeah.
Unnecessary bullshit. Excuse me. But a lot of people they buy and they don't give credit to the artist, and then they make
Mm.
this money because they print it, but like the artist doesn't even fucking know.
Mhm.
They just bought the model for $200 and then I'm just going to reprint it and reprint it and reprint. Give the guy a cut at least, man. You're making that much. Give
Yeah.
the guy a cut. And that's exactly what happened. So
Yeah.
I bought it and I contacted him. I'm like, dude, I'm like, this is selling. I'm like, can I give you a percentage?
Whoa.
And he's like, this is a joke. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of weird. Like, he was off about it. He's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
What's this guy trying to do?
He thought it was, he's been scammed before. I've been scammed before.
Yeah.
So like I could understand. So I'm telling him straight. I'm like, look, I'm like, let me get clients for you. I go have a long lineup of people. I'm like, I'll give you 10 clients right now. Let them go through me. I won't make any money.
Hmm.
He's like, this doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, take the money. If you model it, take the money. I'll make the money after by printing it, but you get the initial fee because you're modeling. And it's been going like that for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't make a fucking penny, and I'm so proud
No
to
way.
not make a penny. He gets everything. That's human.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I take money away from someone or take a percentage? I have a new artist right now. Okay, a new artist, remote, by the way, once again, remote, a new artist who's painting for me. The Unassuming Bull. That's their alias. It's a dope fucking alias.
Yeah.
I love the name. It's really cool. They're like, okay, so how's it gonna go? I'm like, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna print everything for you. I'm gonna QC everything for you. I'm gonna ship it to you. And I've been talking with them for a while, okay? And I'm like, we're gonna do a test run. We're gonna see how it goes. They're like, okay, what's the percentage? And I'm like, well, Etsy takes, like 20%. And they're like, no. They're like, what's the percent? And it got kind of like blocked almost. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
no, I'm like, there's no percent. I'm like, I'm not taking a percentage. And like, what do you mean? And I'm like, there's nothing else that I can mean by that. I'm like, you're working with me. We're collaborating. We're entering into a relationship together. Why the fuck would I take off your plate?
Yeah.
My artist, same thing. Why would I take off your plate? My model, or why would I take off your plate? I don't want, and that's the way I told myself when I open up the business. I'm not gonna be that guy I've never been that guy.
Hmm.
That guy who like takes the 20 here and the 30 here, and oh yeah, but it was $50. Oh, I'll give it to you for that.
Mm.
What? Stop, gross.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting as a human thing. So people come to me and they're like, look, I get passionate about this. So people are like, I want this made. I'm like, okay, cool. Money gets sent to the modeler. I do it. I get paid afterwards when it sells in blank form or painted.
Mm.
I'll wait. I'll wait. I don't mind. I know it's going to sell because this is an idea from someone.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be human like that. I want everyone to win.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have every. Yes, you fucking can have it. Yes, you can. You're just not thinking right. People have said like, oh yeah, but there's no buts. Guy gets happy, guy gets happy, guy gets happy. I'll get happy, but I'll get happy a bit later.
Yeah.
That's it. A leader eats last. In the
Mm.
military, if you're a master corporal, sergeant, doesn't matter. I left as a corporal, okay, and I used to eat at the table of the master jacks and the sergeants. You're not supposed to, but when you're on different courses, it's way more lenient. Like the rank doesn't really mean that much. You're just eating together. And I noticed there was this one guy who was a master corporal, and I was on my defensive driving course. He would always sergeants would get up, but people would get he would always fucking finish last on purpose.
Mm.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
And then there's an actual book called Leaders Eat Last. I haven't read it, but I noticed it. I'm like, oh, cute. You know what I mean? Like it always
Yeah.
kind of me. I'm down to eat. I'm still gonna eat, my brother. Like I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna
Yeah.
eat. I want a big plate. I'm gonna eat. But you guys gotta eat first. Without you guys who like without my team, what am I?
But you must recognize how rare that is, like, because if you're, you talk about being in survival, like you're doing this to survive, and yet you're able to suppress the part of the survival instinct that ensures your survival over others, that like takes away from someone else so that you can ensure that you can keep doing this. Like, how do you do that? Because a lot of, artists who want to go full time, there's a lot of fear there. There's like, I need every cent I can make from this. But it seems like you went a different route. What
That's
set you up for that?
that's what built my success.
Hmm.
It was the different route. If you can't buy loyalty, man. You can't
Hmm.
buy love. You cannot buy it. Like things
Yeah.
can make you feel love, that love might dissipate. It might
Yeah.
fizzle away. But real loyalty is saying, hey, dude, look, I know it's kind of tough right now. The business needs this and that. These clients, they're still asking, can you do it? Yes, absolutely. And they'll tell me, like, are you okay? Like, do you need, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I ran out of resin. It's the shipment is late. I have clients that are waiting to like, do you need like 80 bucks? Like, because I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'll fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
This is my business. Like, I'll figure it out. God will help me.
Yeah.
Look, I've been pagan. I was raised Catholic Christian. You see a lot of my tattoos. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of my tattoos are a
Damn.
lot of pagan influence. I have
Hmm.
Yunan, I have Vegvizir. You name like you can't. There we go.
Oh yeah.
I have the Gungnir over here, the Luke Stafir. Like I have like paganism was huge for me, huge. Okay, like during the military, after the military,
Yeah.
and then when I actually started taking faith seriously, it's very complex. Faith is alchemy. Okay, it's alchemy, and you need a main ingredient. You need the all. The all is the spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't feel connected when I was in paganism. I didn't feel connected when my mother was trying to. I was doing my first communion and I was confused as to why she couldn't explain. You know what I mean? All that.
Hmm.
So I have faith, unwavering faith that it's going to work out for me. It has
Yeah.
not failed me because I believe truly in good energy, bad energy. You want to call it karma, dharma. I don't give a fuck. It's the same thing, man. Name it however you want. It's the same thing. If I put people first with good intent, like niya in Arabic is intent.
Mm.
If I have good intent and I want you all to succeed, I need you to eat. I need you to be healthy and wealthy. And my team is going to glow before I glow.
Yeah.
I'm going to glow. I'm going to shine. I know it. That's the faith. That's the belief. That's the knowing I have. But for them, they may not have that yet.
Yeah.
Have it first.
Can we get a little, let's get a little weird with the cosmic stuff.
Yo, let's go.
Because I don't know, are you into like lucid dreaming at all, astral projection?
Okay, I've tried. Okay, I've always been curious about it. I
Hmm.
have attempted many times, like
Hmm.
really guided meditation.
Hmm.
There's like these like sleep herbs that I purchased that I did a lot
Hmm.
of research on, and allegedly like they assist you. Were they more lucid, my dreams? Yes, they were. Astral projection, I have a theory as to why I can't
Mm,
astral project. I have a very big theory. But it's always been so, like, the ether is a place that I've always wanted to go.
yeah.
Believe that I'm gonna go there when I'm not in this realm anymore, if you understand.
You ever read any of Robert Monroe's work?
No, I'm gonna write that down right now.
Oh my God.
Second, please.
I can't recommend it enough. It's some of the most fascinating stuff I've ever read. Robert Monroe. Um,
Do you
some
have any
people.
titles like
Oh
specifically that
yeah,
you
oh
recommend?
yeah. Journeys Out of Body.
Okay.
That's his first one. You just got to start there. Uh, and then his sequel just goes insane places. But Journeys Out of Body. And I'm sure some people are listening to this like, how, what is it? I thought this was Lego stop motion. Why are we talking about astral projection? Um, but like, if you just look at, I'm not going to try to convert people, but I will say, like, I sometimes view this reality that we're all in as like God's dream, like or the source's dream. There's a dream here. We're all fundamentally one, like we come from the same thing in the same way that your own dream characters are in some ways a part of you. So in what controls a lucid dream? What controls dreams? It's will, its intention, and its expectation. That's what
Hmm.
guides the dream. And if you start to be afraid, your dream will get scarier and scarier because you'll start expecting bad things to happen. And I truly do believe that the universe works on similar principles. And I don't think this is like, we have this idea that this is this marbles universe, right? There are these physical, these like atoms. There's limited resources. But it seems like in this day and age, people are getting more on the simulation, holographic, um, I guess, dream perspective of it. It's an energetic thing, and like there is no limitation. It's and so I don't know. I've started like thinking in those terms has helped me too. Be like, this weird dream I have of working for myself, doing twisted brick stuff, making Lego stop motion movies, maybe one day partnering with Lego. Who knows? Knock on wood. But like, I've stopped telling myself that like, oh, X, Y, Z is not possible because I think that far more is possible than we can even fathom.
It's not even, it's deeper. It's if it's meant for you, it'll come back to you.
Mm,
If it's meant for you, it's gonna happen. I also believe you have to choose if it's meant for you.
interesting. I can I
You have to have that.
Yeah. So
If you
you
don't have,
say
please, sorry.
You say it's meant for you, but could something be meant for you, but you don't choose it?
I believe that could be a lesson, yes.
Hmm.
So to be where I am now, there's a lot of things I didn't choose, right? But it
Hmm.
happened. It happened. I'm not choosing my father's passing at 12, but that happened.
Hmm.
That teaches me not to go in the route of my father, to spend as much fucking time with my child as possible and my wife as possible. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand that time is finite. I mean, sure, if I do agree that we are reflections of each other. We're all one and the same. We're just the manifestations of, like, these atoms are saying that it's me. You know what I mean? Those atoms, but still atoms.
Yeah.
It's reflections. The beautiful thing is, I do believe that the beginning is written. I believe that the end is written.
Hmm.
I believe that everyone has a path. And if you're kind of pushed off the path a little bit, something is going to happen because you're not walking that path to push you back onto your path.
Hmm.
What that path is your choice.
Hmm.
Now, I'm not going to, a lot of idiots are going to say, yeah, but what if someone is handicapped? And what if, I'm not
Hmm.
talking about that. Like, I don't know about that. I'll be honest. I don't
Yeah.
know about that. I'm talking about me and in my life, and I'm giving my perspective towards people who are doing their best to chase their dreams, and their dream is chasing them.
Hmm.
As within, so without. If like, you wouldn't chase something if it's not chasing you, because if it's not chasing you, you wouldn't be chasing it.
Hmm.
So it's kind of complex. So a lot of people are like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So if you're hunting something and you know it's there. You don't know where it is. Deers can walk to you, bro. Like a moose can walk to you. You're hunting moose. You're gonna find the moose. If you want that, well, you may have to sit in a tree for 7 days.
Hmm.
You have to use tools. You're hunting moose. You're gonna find a moose because you're going where the moose is. I know where I'm going to a certain degree because
Hmm.
I have a lot of faith, I have a lot of will, and I just don't want to stop. I'm not going to stop. I tell my wife, and she's like, "Stop saying this." I tell her, I go, either I die or I win.
Mm.
I go, I don't, either way, I win.
Yeah.
Either way, I win. I die doing this or I win. And
Well,
she knows, like, I keep my values very personal, my end goals, my mission statements, my personal ones very personal. A lot of people don't know them. It's not, once again, you jump into the abyss. You don't have to fucking tell anything to anybody, but it's for good intent. Like, I don't
yeah.
want to ever scam somebody. I don't want to ever hurt somebody. Like, I want everyone to win. Not everyone is meant to win outside of me. What I mean by that is, like, I want my people to win. So if I meet someone and we connect, like you and I,
Hmm.
like, now, okay, now you're part of the family, part of the team. I need you to win,
Yeah.
right? So these paths that everyone are on, it's your choice. I genuinely believe you have a say. People are going to say, yeah, but free will or not free will. Once again, I can't really say anything about that. I could feel it.
Yeah.
I feel my things. You could feel something else if you want to, but
Yeah.
like, I genuinely believe, like, we met for a reason.
Hmm.
And people can say, once again, yeah, but those people right now, we met for a reason.
Yeah.
I felt it the moment I contacted you, and the moment you ordered without even telling me you were Twisted Bricks from the shop.
Yeah.
And I gave it my all, like I always give it my all. Do you see what I mean? Like, there
Yeah.
was moments like that where everything kind of lines up very well and
Yeah.
very beautifully.
Oof. Yeah, this does not feel like coincidence. There are things that happen in life where you're like, this is not coincidence. And people can always, like you said, there's people right now who are like, yeah, but there are coincidences and they do happen and they
Yeah.
probably feel like that. And it's like, oh, cool, bro. I'm just telling you what I feel. Uh, but what you said, either you win or you die. Like there's that great quote, until death. I just saw it like yesterday. Until death, all defeat is psychological.
Yeah, I've
Um,
read that before. Yeah.
so that goes hard.
It's the defeats that many people have are okay. So I genuinely believe that we're spirits, souls,
Hmm.
whatever you want to say, inside physical bodies. So I'm not saying we're just spirit. Like, no, this is a physical manifestation. Okay,
Hmm.
this is real. This is real. But we're spirits, so it's confusing for us, and we can think about thinking. It's pretty tough being a human.
Yeah.
Animals have animal instincts. They want to do their thing. They just do their thing. They want to eat something. They go and kill it, and we can't do that. We have to think about thinking. We have to do righteous things or unrighteous things if you're a demon. I'm not
Mm.
talking about those people. I'm talking about just conflicts of normal human interactions, hormones. Like, there's a lot of things that go on, and the defeat of the psychological defeats that we have, I genuinely believe it's just we lost to ourselves.
Mm.
If someone comes and challenges you and you get into a fight, something really gross and primal, I really don't like fighting. Like, I've
Hmm.
done Muay Thai before, I've done Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My time in the military, I had good experience. Okay, when it comes down to we're gonna say training. When it comes
Hmm.
down to training, I realized that if someone kicks your ass, that's how you find out how to get better. You can't see that as a defeat. That's a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Something, if you go broke or if you get hurt and you keep doing the same mistakes, you haven't learned. So these defeats, I genuinely believe that you allow yourself to be defeated.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't see their potential like that. And all these, like, so many people come to me, man. Like, this is real, okay? Like, people come to me and they're like, "Hey, can I paint for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." They never fucking do it.
Oh yeah.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
They come to me, they see my business, 8,000 sales, 3,000 5-star reviews. They're like, I want to do. No, they don't.
Yeah.
I didn't do shit. I said yes. And I defeated you by saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
How did I defeat? I didn't. You can't blame it on somebody else at that point. That's you.
Yeah. It
Please.
makes me think of you picture like what are two good animals, like two bulls or some kind of really like beefy animals facing off against each other, stags maybe, or elk, and they face off each other against each other, and one eventually bows to the other. It's like it is like, okay, you are clearly the
I understand.
dominant
Yeah.
one here, and like when you say I quit, I can't do this anymore, I'm not the guy, I give up. It's like you are submitting to something, I don't know, defeat. You're submitting to yourself, the worst version of you're submitting to a lesser version of yourself that says that you can't go on instead of being like, actually, I can go on until I literally die. Like that's the
The fucked
winner.
up
That
thing,
is the
man, is
winner
that
inside you.
the the person that that individual submits to isn't even real.
Yeah.
There's no one in front of you.
Yeah.
When people give up, they're alone. Like I'm
Jeez.
not talking once again. Like people always want to do the extremes, so I have to bring up the extremes. No one has a gun to your head and says give up. Like that's a different fucking story, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what we're not talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about you have a project, odds too tough, off it. That
Mhm.
was you. You gave up to yourself. That was
Yeah.
inside of you. Something was whispering. Okay, it could be maybe timelines. Maybe the timeline where it says, "Hey, I'm gonna do it." Maybe that's you. Maybe that's completely you. That's why you can't hear the "Yeah, you're gonna do it."
Mm.
Maybe you can only hear the negative timeline because maybe
Mm.
you're supposed to be the good timeline. So you have to trust yourself. But who are you going to trust? That little voice inside your head that tries to pollute you, that
Mhm.
tries to, but then again, I don't see it like that. That voice, everyone has that. Some people, I'm really not gonna get too deep into it. Excuse me, I stumbled on my words. But some people can hear it louder than others. And
Yeah.
some people have it far more accurate than others. Okay.
Yeah.
If something inside of me says stop, go to sleep. Okay. If I'm not puking, I'm not going to sleep.
Mm.
And I'm not trying to be an ass to myself. It's just I know I can do it. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to hurt myself either. I just know I can do it. Do I puke? No. But I'm feeling queasy. Okay, go fucking eat. Go do. You know what? That's okay. It's telling me, oh, you're not gonna do it. Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna eat. I'll take a bit more caffeine if I have to. You know, love my kid, get some good fucking energy, and then we go
Hmm.
back to work. Do you see what I mean? It's not telling me to stop. It's just saying, hey, how can you find a way not to? If I
Mm.
push a little bit, I'm reminding you that you can, but you don't have to, right? But
Yeah.
that don't have to, that has to come from you, like the purest version of you. People just don't have that
Yeah.
because they don't cultivate it. It's a
Yeah.
muscle, I believe. It's a muscle. Going through hardships. I fucking hate going through hardships. I hate it. Who the hell says yes to that? Nobody. You got to
Mm.
be a sadistic, sick human being to want pain,
Hmm.
all but working out. No, it's not. That's solo. You're choosing that. You're choosing to get stronger. That's why you're doing it. Don't give me that BS about people saying, "Oh," because I've heard that before. They're
Oh.
like, "Oh yeah, but working, yeah, but there's a goal in mind, and you know the results."
Yeah. There's a difference between tension and like actual suffering. And
Genuine, yes, but a lot
yeah.
of people don't know what suffering is, and I hope they don't.
Yeah.
That's when you know someone suffered when you don't want people to suffer.
Yeah.
You know someone has been through something when they don't want you to feel it. Okay. But if
Hmm.
you keep going down that path, they're going to be like, oh, you're going to feel it. But if you're strong enough, you're going to come out the other side.
Yeah.
When it comes down to bowing to yourself, I just believe that people are just afraid of what they're going to become.
Hmm.
They have a lot of attachments to who they are because of ego.
Hmm.
It's very healthy. It's very beautiful if it blossoms correctly, if it blossoms correct and it's cultivated correctly. But that's a job. People are tired.
Yeah.
People are very what's the word I'm looking for? Like their attention spans are gone. They
Yeah.
can't focus.
Yep.
They can't focus. It's difficult to focus on yourself when you're not happy with yourself. But why aren't you happy?
There
What's
are
happening? Do you
there are
see what I mean? How deep that goes? Like that's
Yeah. Well, that's I'm just going to add to that. There are so many obstacles. There are so many obstacles that a person has to overcome in life, and some of them are so insidious and subtle. Even like fear of success. You know, people are like, "Oh, I'm not afraid of success," but it's like, are you
okay.
sure?
You're
Because
hitting me hard with that one. But
if
like,
you and
please go
I
ahead. I want to hear you. I want to hear you.
like if you were to truly become successful, the person you are now, like hypothetically speaking, let's say you're not very successful, or you know you to be the millionaire that you want to become, or what you know whatever, like the truly creator, independent, whatever, you who you are now is going to have to die. Like they're just going to have to not exist anymore because the person who's up there, that's a different person. And and I feel this too. I'm like, man, I'm pretty comfortable with my workload. Are you telling me I'm going to have to like, if I actually want to like have more success, I will have to transform the way I view work? And you know, I think the answer is yes, and I'm working on it, you know.
That's
But
alchemy.
it's
That's
yeah,
pure alchemy. That's a very raw form of alchemy.
yeah, it's all alchemy. It's
You mentioned in the beginning people pleasing, right?
yeah.
It's something that we tend to do for people. I genuinely believe it's just building our character.
Hmm.
Getting that workload. Thank God we're busy, my brother. Like it's so bizarre for me to say, okay, but I do want success for, once again, even the shops I don't like. I want them to be successful.
Hmm.
I want them to. I want them to alchemize, and I want them because they're people. Okay,
Yeah.
they are. I don't really care. I don't, but I want them because they're still doing something that they enjoy. I have to respect that.
Yeah.
It's not negative too. I have to respect that. When it
Yeah.
comes, please.
And that's something I've honestly struggled with because I have these sometimes I've had these envious thoughts about other brick filmers, other people who do what I do, but like the algorithm hits them in the right way. They have like success in some way that I maybe had it in a different way. And I really dislike that when it appears. It's like I don't need to feel that way. And in fact, we should all be in this together in a sense. We should all be trying to bring this craft to the world. But man, envy is a sneaky son of a bitch. You gotta like keep
But
your head on a swivel.
envy is actually very important too because it shows you what you want.
Mm.
It gives you a genuine trigger within your body to say, why don't I have that? And then you kind of want it more.
Hmm.
Right? But then you have a choice. Am I going to go the bad way, the left hand path, or am I going to go the right hand path?
Mm-hmm.
I believe my business, for example, took off slower than others because I just didn't have funding from the bank. I
Mm-hmm.
was feeding my family with the money, so I couldn't refunnel it for years. I couldn't
Mm.
refunnel it back because a lot of people they live with their parents. They have, you know what I mean? Like they have the
Yeah.
money, they have this, they have grandparents who help them out, business owners who help them out because
Mm-hmm.
they're like, fuck, I had nobody.
Yeah.
I used to cry and paint at the same fucking time because if I didn't fucking sell this, my kid wouldn't eat.
Oh my God.
Do you see the difference in mentality? I don't
Yeah.
want that for anybody. That's why I want people to eat first. I get it. I get it. I genuinely get it.
Yeah.
When it comes down to alchemizing too, fear, envy, anything, those are left hand. They're not bad because you're not using it yet for negative purposes. The moment you decide to, then you're using the left hand path, which is negative.
Yeah.
Right hand path is love and passion. That's pure. You don't even have to fucking think too much about that. That's normal. That's healthy. It's envy. We'll bring envy. Envy goes to you and says, look at this motherfucker. Look at the algorithm, 1 million views. Look at the ad revenue. Oh, they got in contact with that person. Oh, they're getting shout outs here and they're getting, and you're just looking at this and you're like, these guys, like, are you serious right now? My quality is better. Then all of a sudden, ego comes in to try and defend. My quality is better. I'm better than these people. I work harder than them. What? Everyone needs to just shut the fuck up. Why did they get that? Okay, cool. They got lucky. Well, once again, if you think about luck, then it's like where experience and timing meet. You know what I mean? But what if they
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
got lucky? What if they didn't deserve that? You are no one to say that. I am no one to say that. I do say it. I do. I'm human, but I have to control myself with that.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me energy to continue forward. Can I share something with you?
Can you do it in less than 60 seconds? That's what we got.
Like completely for the rest of the podcast, or do you want me to?
Well, you know what? Let's just pause it and let's come on back in. All right. I'm ready, brother.
Okay. So just to how just my game got into 3D printing. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
look at this here like this is maybe 4 minutes or 5 minutes.
Okay.
I was painting because just my game started off by selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Okay. When my father passed, we put a lot of things in storage. And my stuff was in storage. My father used to spoil me as a child, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
He used to spoil me with cards, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that. I left that in storage for over a decade. I left certain businesses when I had my kid. I said, I'm going to change my life around. And then I started selling the cards up until I started going into my figurines as a kid. Boba Fett, the original one from like the Star Wars, like the original set, like from like the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah. Is that Cloud City Boba Fett?
Yeah, the one with the dumb little backpack and like the
Yeah.
weird
Is that the
head
one with the
like that.
printing on the arm too?
Yeah, like it was the one we all know as children. Okay,
Yes.
that one. I sold it for $50. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, this is kind of wild. So I went on AliExpress. This was years ago.
Mm.
Okay. Started buying, like the custom figurines and reselling them. And then people started doing that too. And I'm like, this is my business. Like I got to do something that sets me apart from everybody.
Mm.
So I went on a few websites and found 3D prints. And I contacted people. And I'm like, I want this, this, this. They're like, yeah, no problem. Because I was going to paint it custom. And that's how I got into painting too, because people were always doing what I was doing. And I'm like, watch, now I have to separate myself more. I'm going
Mm.
to start painting. Try painting like me. I never picked up a paintbrush in my life a few years ago.
Well,
Okay. That's how, like, I'm either I die or I find a way I do this.
yeah.
And I got the parts of the 3D. I'm not going to name the business, but they were minifigurine parts and I got them and they were busted.
Mm.
And I was like sad because I didn't have a lot of funds back then. I had to feed my family first, and then I was like, I had like $20, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna flip with this. I'm gonna paint this stuff for $20 and make 50. But that's how I had to think before, and I was really sad. I was like, fuck, man, do I contact the guy? You know what I mean? Like then I have to
Yeah.
go through all the BS. I'm like, whatever. So then I just started painting. I put those things aside. I started painting, customizing. I used to glue Chinese figurines together to make I have photos, man. I'll send you some.
Hmm. Yeah.
And one day one guy's like, "Hey, can you do an ODST from Halo?" I'm like, "Yes." I didn't have any capabilities. Yes. Started searching like crazy. Found one guy. I'm like, "Dude, I want to order 5 of these. I've been saving up. I want to order 5." He's like, "Sorry, buddy, no can do." I'm like, what do you mean no can do? I'm like, "I want to order these. Like, I have the money ready." I go, "This is your pricing. It's on the website. It says in stock." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, 2 months." Didn't give a fuck about me.
Mm.
So something clicked in my heart. This is alchemy. That was rage, envy, pain, all the negatives of the left hand. And I said, okay, I'm going to buy a 3D printer. And now I have six.
Damn, six, huh?
And
Holy
I'm
crap.
not saying I have six to say I have six. I want 30. I need an extra few to keep
Hmm.
up with everything and be as good as possible because I want to ship out to my artist. I want everyone to be prosperous. I want everyone to eat.
Hmm.
But that's how it happened. Could I have just said, oh, F that guy? You know what I mean? I could have been like in
Hmm.
my face about it. I found a way to turn that around. Not a lot of people do that.
Hmm.
And when it comes down to alchemizing envy or pain or any of the 7 sins, by the way, because you can alchemize every single one of those,
Hmm.
you did incredible because I know that when I talk with you, I still feel purity. I still feel you got this. It's like you don't even like it when people say you got this because you got it. Like if you got it, you got it. And I know it sucks because I'm there sometimes too. I see someone get like a shout out here or like they go into an art magazine because of this or
Hmm.
whatever the reason is. And I'm like, why not me? Why not this? And I'm like, fine, then I'll do it. I'm
Hmm.
putting that in my life. I'm taking it with my will. I'm putting it into my heart that that's one thing I'm going to cross upon my little checkpoints.
Yeah.
I know that it's not easy, but that's what makes it so tasty.
Yeah, that's you don't play I mean it's funny the simple analogies that kind of work, but you don't play video games because they're easy, You don't like you play Dark Souls because it's the hardest thing you've ever done. Well, if Dark Souls is the hardest thing you've ever done, then you've had a very good life. But uh that it's amazing what you're saying about alchemy because like I'm sure you feel that on such a profound level because you described this suffering that you were like this like bullying, these hardships, these difficult things that happened, and you're like, I'm gonna take those things and I'm not gonna take the left-hand path. I'm going to be a channel, a catalyst to convert those experiences into beauty for this world. I'm gonna bring things into this world. And I think it's just amazing. There's something so baseline, um, found fundamental to that's like down to the reason why we exist. It's like we can choose service to self, we can choose service to others, and it seems to me that you're choosing service to others. And I think that's just crystal clear and you're making the world a better place.
I believe you are too, man.
Thanks, brother.
Not like that's genuinely your work is beautiful. Like you can people can recognize beauty. Okay. If they can't, then there's an issue with themselves. Like their eyes ain't working properly. Like there's something off. But if everyone's like, wow, that's beautiful, and you always get that one kind of guy who's like, yeah, I've seen better.
Yeah.
You haven't. You haven't. Because you're saying that.
Yeah.
Because if you really have seen better, you would still appreciate beauty in front of you.
Yeah.
You have such smooth animation.
Oh, thank you.
You have you're gonna start blushing a bit.
Yeah, this is the red glasses.
No, you got crazy smooth animation. Your ideas are on point. Your energy is raw. Like it's not an energy you fuck with. That's an energy of someone who knows where they're going. You step out of the way of that person. Respectfully too.
Hmm.
You don't do it that you just get out of their way just because you want to see good people want to see where you want to go.
Hmm.
Right? If someone's like, I'm climbing that mountain, and let's say it's never been done before, people want like the good people, they want to watch how you do it so maybe they can do it after.
Hmm.
You're climbing, you're conquering a motherfucking mountain right now, man. And you're breeding something into this world that's yours. You have so much love, like so much, like you know what I mean? Like it's just you can't even hold it. Like the
Oh,
fact that you contain that, but that's why we have to kind of bleed it out by creating and kind of like decompressing almost.
yeah.
But your work is so beautiful, and I am so excited to see where you are going. You are
Mm,
someone on my radar that God has blessed me with, so I may witness your greatness one day.
mm,
That's the beautiful thing about seeing another creator who you understand, because I'm never going to fully understand you and you won't ever fully understand me, but I can still understand. And
mm.
it's power. You resonate with your work. It's dedication, it's time, it's love, it's passion. It's so like I could keep going, but it's so much. And I'm very excited to see who you're going to become. So I'm genuinely excited, and I'm proud to call you a friend and a brother too. But I'm very proud to call you a friend because of many things, including your work ethic. But you are just such a talented, driven, great fucking human being.
That's incredibly high praise, man. It really means the world to hear. It's unbelievable. And we're all walking our paths, but I feel like you and I, if the path is through a forest, I can see you through the trees. You're right there.
Yeah, we glow. We're doing our best to glow in the dark, like we are. We really
Yeah. And
are.
I really can't express in words the admiration I have for you and what you've done and what you're doing. It's and people, I'll probably I'll post some like video or footage of your work and any pictures you have you want me to share too during the podcast, I'll play it. But the quality of your work and the quality of things that you send to your customers, the loot boxes, I mean all the stick, I mean they're amazing. Like people need to see them for themselves because they are just opening one of your boxes is an entire audio or visual experience. Like it's an experience and it's just clear how much you put into your work, and I respect that tremendously.
Thank you. I love you so much, brother. Thank you. I'm
Love you.
curious to see where we're gonna go, by the way, together when it comes down to our work, the film, future projects. I don't. I have a feeling where, okay, and I know
Hmm.
you do too. I just want to see it, and I want to live it, and I want to feel those moments. I want to see your work on the fucking screen. I
Hmm.
want to see you get those views. I want to see money in your account. I'm not going to obviously see the money, and I want to feel it. I want to
Yeah.
feel you so locked in and so surrounded with like I want the fucking best for you. You
Yeah.
deserve it. You genuinely, you deserve it. Just point to the line. You deserve it.
I feel that from you, and I want the same right back at you. And
I'll take that.
I
Trust me,
am
I'll take that.
I am very excited. I really it feels like we're at the beginning. Have you seen the movie Casablanca?
Okay, I don't want. I'm gonna say no, but please don't judge me for that. But
That's all right. There's like every other line in that movie is like a very famous quote, but one of the quotes is, "I feel like this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." And
please,
Twisted Bricks, just my game. I feel it.
I believe it's more than a friendship. I believe it's a genuine family that we're combining. Your family and my family,
Hmm.
something very powerful. And if we play our cards right with good intent, I genuinely believe we're gonna have something so big and so powerful. And the beast that's gonna be representing both of our everything, our experience, our passions, our quality. I just hope it intimidates everybody, but in a good way.
Beautifully said.
You don't,
Beautifully
not
said.
in a bad way, but I just hope you're like, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
want that. But mostly for myself and for you. I want to say
Yes.
that about you. I want you to say that about me. But I want people to say, like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Sooner than later too.
Yes.
And I know it's going to be sooner, like God willing, but I know it's going to be sooner than later.
Yeah.
I
Beautiful.
keep talking,
I
bro.
know. I feel like whoever's still tuning in at this point, at some point they're gonna get sick of us glazing each other. So I
It's
suppose it's
okay. They're going to be look at these guys.
yeah. Brother, it's been such a pleasure. I wish you all the best. And let's do this again sometime soon.